Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So here is my review of The Walking Dead World Beyond Season 2, Episode 9. After this, I will be posting my trailer breakdown for Episode 10, so if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit subscribe to get that. And yeah, Episode 9 definitely was it was a pretty interesting episode. I got some of my death predictions wrong. I got most of them wrong, actually. And I do want to talk about that. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about some of the new information that happened, or that we learned in this episode. And then, just kind of go into some of what they could be setting up here for episode 10. So obviously, this will contain spoilers for episode 9, so I hope you guys are all aware of that. And also, if you haven't, first of all, thank you so much for joining the stream. I'm using my computer mic right now, and man, I love the quality of this mic compared to the shitty mic that I was using for streaming. Because for streaming, I've been using my PS5 or the Series X, and I can't get the quality of the stream to be that great. And it's because I do need to do it on PC to use my mic audio to get the quality of the stream better. It's just that my PC for some reason won't do it. But my brother has literally the same exact PC and his runs everything fine. So I got to figure out what's going on with that. But later on, I will be streaming and watching anyways, Fear the Walking Dead episode 7. And I haven't watched it yet, so I'm going to watch it. I'll do my review and trailer breakdown for episode 8 later on today, so stay tuned for that. But for now, we watched this, and yeah, thank you first of all so much for everybody that joined the stream. That was a lot of fun. Make sure to go follow me on Twitch. It's just at Appetite for the Dead. The link for it should be down below. But let's talk about episode 9 here. So I will say the episode for the first 20 minutes or so was pretty slow. Not a lot happened. They were slowly building to some stuff, and it kind of felt like they were building to this big epic moment throughout almost the entire episode, and they never really got to it. There was the big showdown, big confrontation at the end. It is just every episode. I have to keep bringing it up because it's just a fact, but the main cast is way too cringy. It's so hard to believe anything that they're going through, because it feels like they're trying too hard. It really does. And that's probably because of their age and they don't have the acting abilities of some of the older actors and stuff. But it feels like it's painful. It's painful to watch, honestly. Huck is the only character from that main group. Felix too, but again, Felix doesn't really have anything going on whereas Huck, she's the drama there with that character is so real. She is serving the Civic Republic. She's friends with Jadis. Her mom is a leader in the Civic Republic. And now she is basically switched sides here at the end, right? You can feel that turmoil inside her, right? She's having a hard time with these decisions because she's giving up that way of life. But obviously she cares about these people and all that, which I don't even understand why, first of all. Well, Felix, I get it. Honestly, I do get the relationship between Felix and Huck. They're definitely really good friends. And I will say that too. I feel like we haven't seen enough of Felix and Will. I think we could in episode 10. It is a limited series, so you can't get to everything, but it feels like they really haven't been together that much in this season, and they kind of made a point, if you think about it, pretty early on, or I guess in episode 10 of season 1, and kind of throughout, that Felix was searching for Will. I think he thought that he died, I'm pretty sure, right? And so yeah, I feel like we haven't really seen a lot of their relationship, and I think their relationship is probably the strongest out of all of the relationships on the show. And not only that, I really like Will as a character. He is such a, I don't know what the actor's name is, but the way he plays the role of Will is just, he's really great in it, and I hopefully he's back for episode 10. I think he is, I think he could be, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, there were a lot of different storylines that were going on here. There was some stuff with Silas and Elton, and they were trying to save Dennis. Dennis ended up being saved in the end, and it was just such an unnecessary storyline that really led nowhere. I really think Dennis should have died at the end of episode 8. I think that should have been the thing that happened. It just kind of ended with him being wounded, and the reveal of it was also kind of off. And then in this episode, they just kind of took the bullet out, and that was it. He was just fine. So I feel like that kind of, there was no point in it. Honestly, there was no point in it because Silas and Elton ended up together. And also that whole thing with the rolling the ball, hamster wheel ball thingy or whatever. I don't get the point of it, but I will say it was kind of fun to see. It was kind of fun to see them doing something different, I guess, on the show. But it did feel like, yeah, that's so a World Beyond thing to do, right? Now, besides that, obviously, their main goal here really is to find the gas to escape the Civic Republic, which they did, and to get to Portland to warn everybody. And so did they achieve that in this episode? No. Well, I mean, they did find the gas. That was the big cliffhanger at the end. Huck found the gas, and so she asked them, do you still have the C4? And so what does that mean? If they blow up everything, are they blowing up just that entire area? Are they blowing up a region of I mean, I guess that gas would probably be kept away a bit from the Civic Republic. But yeah, I'm having a hard time, I guess, figuring out where they're going with all of this. Besides, they just sacrifice themselves to destroy everything. Honestly, it's kind of where I see it going. Jadis, she's going to survive the series. If Jadis dies in World Beyond, I will be pissed off. I want her in the Rick movies. There is no way this character can die in World Beyond. Now, honestly, I'll be so pissed off about that. I will rant about that. There is so much you can do with this character. I don't want her to die here, and then just when we're watching the Rick movies, know that that's where she dies, right? I'm okay with watching the first Rick movie and say, it's set 6 years in the past or whatever they're going to do, knowing that she's going to survive throughout most of that. But I want her to be a pretty big character in World Beyond. I want her to be a big character in the Rick movie. I really do. And so we'll have to see what they're doing here. But that was kind of, honestly, like this episode, not a lot happened. It was just they were trying to escape, find the gas, blow it up. Jadis confronted them. Huck, I guess, betrayed the Civic Republic. Jadis now knows that Huck is on their side. So now Huck is, I mean, I don't know what the hell's going to happen with her now. Jadis survived. Percy died, though. There was that in that scene. And I honestly, I don't really care. He was a great character in season 1. Honestly, a really great character in season 1. But he's not a main character. None of the main cast has been killed off yet. And maybe they are saving that for episode 10. But we will have to wait and see. This show is better without its main cast. It's such a crazy thing to say, but it's true. There's a rating on IMDb. I think it's like 4 or 4.3 out of 10 for this show. Honestly, I agree with it. I like the Jadis stuff. Honestly, all the stuff with Jadis and Huck has been so fun, so interesting. I just think that in this episode, it didn't really deliver on a lot of that. A lot of it was held back, and a lot of it was a continuation of where we were before. It kind of feels like episode 10 is going to be the big one. This was just set up for that episode, right? So we'll have to wait and see what actually happens in 10. And just where the show is going to end. I will say I'm not a fan of it ending outside. I know it's a small thing that I'm nitpicking at, but I always pictured almost with World Beyond for it to be like this end game scenario where literally just think of any Resident Evil game where it always starts off in a mansion, blah blah blah, and eventually you get into this laboratory and there's all these experiments going on. I've always kind of pictured World Beyond to end like that. They start off outside and like this normal whatever, they travel, get to the Civic Republic, you're inside the building, but eventually you go underground to this secret lair, and then just a bunch of shit goes on, and it's something very like CDC like, right? Like at the actual CDC that we saw in Walking Dead. I think it was episode 6, right? I've always pictured it like that. And it's fine that it's not going in that direction. It doesn't, there's nothing visually, there's nothing about the drama that is really that exciting right now. But yeah, I mean, that was mostly my complaints about the episode. Iris's overreacting, I think, over Percy's death was just kind of, or I guess I shouldn't say overreacting. It was overacting. You could tell that she was trying hard. She was trying really hard to convince us that her character cared so much about Percy, and it just honestly did not come across that way at all. I don't know. To be honest, I am very happy that World Beyond is about to be over. I've really enjoyed the last few episodes. This one, not as much, but they are building to something. This one was kind of it was set up for episode 10. It really feels like set up for episode 10. If you haven't watched it yet, that's what I'll say, is it does. There's some really cool moments here between Jadis and Huck. But that's stuff that I figured Jadis already knew in the back of her mind, that, Huck is acting a little suspicious. There's something really off with her. And then also Hope, wanting to shoot Mason. I don't know. Again, a lot of this episode focused on, I guess, our characters' emotions and them actually dealing with stuff. And I think that's why I have to kind of rank this episode a little bit lower than like episodes 6, 7, and 8. Those 3 episodes I think were solid episodes. This one, I think, is a little bit lower than that. Huck wasn't the star in this episode, and usually she's the one I'm mostly interested in. as well as Jadis, and Jadis was still really great here, but the big focus here was on Hope and Iris, and then at the end we got the reunion, you know, between the 4 main cast members, and yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with them, because they've been separated for so long now, so we'll see now that they're all together. How are they going to end this all? You could tell, like, that's what I mean. It was totally set up, this episode. They want episode 10 to be the big one. And so that's where we'll start talking about episode 10 in my next video or I guess where I do the trailer breakdown. But yeah, not a lot of Rick Grimes stuff, but I will say there was a pretty big reveal in the episode with Jadis actually talking with Major General Beale. We don't hear his voice though. And so I think right there is confirmation that Major General Beale is going to be in the Rick movies, because we didn't hear his voice. Again, we could get him in episode 10. It's possible at the very end or something, but we didn't hear his voice because I think they still have to cast the character. So Major General Beale is someone that they are introducing here. It's very cryptic. You know, Mason, I'm starting to like his character a little bit. I like the fact that he could potentially be a villain. And Mason, honestly, if he doesn't die right away, if he survives World Beyond, then he's going to be a pretty big character. Not a pretty big character, but a pretty important character in the Rick movies, because he's the son of Major General Beale. Like you know he's going to play a role, right? So yeah, but I thought that was a pretty cool reveal. I mean, he's definitely going to be a very big character in the Rick movies. He seems to be the leader of everything, and Jadis wants to make him happy and everything. That was a really cool scene. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Make sure to post all your thoughts down below. Stay tuned for my episode 10 trailer video coming out right after this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.